Good morning students. Today we will study second part of lesson 4 metals and non-metals. Today's topic is corrosion of metals. Now what is the meaning of corrosion? Corrosion is the process by which materials such as metals are slowly eaten away when exposed to air and moisture. Rusting of iron which eats into the metal layer by layer, the conversion of the surface of copper into a greenish powder or turning black of the surface of silver ornament, all are the examples of corrosion of metal on exposure to air. The more moist the air, the faster is the corrosion. Corrosion causes heavy losses. Now what are the various ways to prevent the corrosion of metals? The corrosion of metals can be prevented by applying oil or grease. Now, if we apply oil or grease on the surface of metal, what happen? The most common method is this one, and the paint or the oil or the grease keep air away from the metal surface. Applying grease or oil on the surface has a similar effect as applying paint on the surface of the metal. Second method is applying paint. Applying paint also does not allow air to come in contact with the metal. When it doesn't allow air, then corrosion will not occur. The third method is galvanization. Now what is galvanization? The process of coating a thin layer of zinc on the surface of iron is known as galvanization. Clean iron sheets are dipped in molten zinc to deposit a layer of zinc on it. This process is called galvanization. Galvanized iron does not rust even if there is a scratch on the zinc layer. The next method is electroplating. Now what is electroplating? The process of electroplating is used to deposit a metallic layer on iron to prevent corrosion. Tin is electroplated on iron to make food container commonly called tin cans. However, if the tin layer gets scratched, the iron starts rusting at that place. The tin can is then no longer suitable for storing food. Chromium is electroplated on steel furniture and bicycle handles to prevent rusting. And in addition to the chromium layer, also gives steel an attractive shine. So this is how electroplating is done. The next method is alloying. Now what is alloying? Some metal become corrosion resistant when alloyed with other metal. Alloys means homogeneous mixture of two or more metals or one or more metal and a non-metal. So this is alloying. Alloying is used to prevent iron from rusting. For example, stainless steel, which is an alloy of iron, chromium and nickel, it does not rust easily. So this is how alloying method is helpful to prevent rusting by mixing one metal to another or with a non-metal. Now let us try to understand the process of rusting of iron by taking an activity. In this activity we will take 3 test tubes. In one test tube, in all the 3 test tubes, put one iron nail. Put some anhydrous calcium chloride in one test tube. When you will put anhydrous calcium chloride in the first test tube, it will absorb moisture. Means in the first test tube there will be no moisture. Now pour some boiled water from which dissolved oxygen has been removed in the test tube 2. Means second test tube does not consist of air. And the third test tube will be normal test tube. Now what will you find? You will find after 3-4 days, if you will leave the mixture in this way, what will you find? The third test tube in which you have filled normal water, the iron nail will rust. In the first test tube where you have added only calcium chloride, it will not rust because there is no moisture in this test tube. In the second test tube where you have poured boiled water, there is no oxygen, it will also not rust. But the third one, which is having normal tap water, will have both air and moisture, and the third test tube iron nail will rust. So these activities show there are two conditions which are necessary for the rusting of iron. What are those two? Air and water. Now, corrosion. Why does copper turn green? You know, sometimes copper surface turn to green. Why does silver get tarnish? What is the phenomenon called? Now, if we talk about copper, copper is attacked by moist air containing carbon dioxide to form hydrated copper carbonate having formula CuCO3.CuOH twice. This is actually corrosion which is formed on top of the surface of copper. Now the second question was, why does silver get tarnished? Tarnish means why do silver ornaments or some utensils or spoon etc. become black when exposed to air? Actually silver react with hydrogen sulfide forming hydrated silver sulfide. So this way this is also corrosion. Now these two phenomena, as you have read of copper and also you have read of silver, these two phenomena are called corrosion. These metals also undergo corrosion. Now what are noble metals? Noble metals are unreactive metal. They do not react with water, acids and alkalis. They therefore occur in the free state in nature. They are known as noble metals. Platinum, gold, silver, these are the noble metals. Gold is the least reactive metal. It remains unaffected by air, water and also by acidic or alkaline substances. Alkaline means basic substances. Therefore, chances of finding gold in pure state are very high because it's almost not reactive. In fact, big nuggets of gold have been found in the earth crust. Similar properties are displayed by silver and platinum also, because these two also lie low in the reactivity series. Gold and platinum are called noble metals. Now next topic is alloys. What is an alloy? An alloy is homogeneous mixture of two or more metals or one or more metal and a non-metal. Alloying is used to alter the properties of metals to suit certain applications. And alloy is usually made by mixing together metals in their molten form. They are also sometimes made by mixing metal powders together. Now there are some of the examples of alloys. The first one is steel. Steel is made up of iron and carbon. Means iron and carbon are the components of steel. And what are the various uses of steel? Students, you know, steel is used in the construction of tools, machines, tanks, ships, rails, buildings, bridges, etc. The second alloy is stainless steel. Now what are the constituents of stainless steel? Iron, chromium, these are the constituents of stainless steel. You know, stainless steel utensils are used at our home, in our kitchens, and cutlery also made up of stainless steel. Some surgical instruments are also made up of stainless steel. The third alloy is brass. Brass consists of copper and zinc. Means it is a homogeneous mixture of copper and zinc. Where we use brass, it is used in utensils, in handicraft, musical instruments, etc. Next alloy is bronze. Bronze is made up of copper and tin, and bronze is used in statues, in making statues, in medals, in bell ornaments, etc. Alnico is made up of aluminium, nickel, cobalt and iron. And it is used for making magnets. The last alloy is duralium. Duralium is made up of aluminium, copper, magnesium and manganese. And this alloy duralium is used for making utensils, pressure cookers, and parts of vehicles, aircrafts, etc. So students, this complete your chapter, and I will be giving you questions of this chapter on Monday. Thank you.